right, who wants to hear about high-octane adventures and the latest and greatest on the motor scene? It's time to rev it up with John and Jess on Joy 1340.
Welcome back to Rev It Up with John and Jess, coming at you at Joy 1340 AM and 98.7 FM.
Well, you're bright and chipper today, so we want to tell everybody thank you again for all our sponsors letting us all happen with between O'Reilly Auto Parts, Serve Pro, and Air Technologies.
Yes, we're going to need another hand soon.
We're going to need our hand soon, and we've got a couple more that we'll be introducing pretty soon. Well, we're in full swing of the nice summer season here, and racing is going on all over the place, right?
Yes.
And we want to bring on a guest we're talking about today.
Speaking of racing,
we met him, where was the event we met him at?
At the Monster Truck Wars in Union Grove last September.
Union Grove, and a lot of these guys came out and they were running the quads. And
Quad Wars.
Yeah, Quad Wars. Well, I was doing my due diligence of, meeting people and doing whatever. You were hanging on the quads.
Don't get me started on that whole
That was
scenario.
a great day. Well, anyway, we won't go there, but we'll just, we'll bypass that whole thing. So, and I'd like to welcome to the show Josh Douglas of Douglas Racing out of Ohio. Yeah, you want to? Is it ATV or 4-wheeler racing? What do you call it, Josh?
What do you even do, Josh?
Yeah, what do you do all day?
I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for bringing me on. It's been quite exciting being new with Motor Mania this year. Definitely great people being around. What we race is super quad. You pick them up go a little bit faster than your average quad. They're a lot of fun. We do it all over the nation. And I've been blessed to then been welcome aboard with the Quad Wars and all the monster truck shows, and it's been a lot of fun, and that's how I got introduced to Jess and John.
And you are on your way to your first race of the season right now, is that right?
Yes, I am, with my very own business from the ground up, my own name on it, and along with my and I'm really nervous, excited, and got a bunch of jitters going in all kinds of ways because I'm really pumped for this race.
I know you've been waiting for it for a long time, so I'm excited for you. That's awesome.
Yes, everything came together just in time for the race. Like, it literally just came together last weekend.
That's awesome.
That's great. How far now? How long have you been racing for?
I have been racing pretty much my whole life since I was a kid, but I didn't get into it until I was 30.
Okay.
And I am 35 now, so I've been doing it for 5 years.
Okay. 5 years. And now, so right now, are you touring? So do you tour the circuit with the same shows, or do you just go to whatever races are available? How does this all work to everybody that's listening?
I race on the circuit, the NEEDT circuit. It's the Northeastern Extreme Dirt Track Series.
Okay.
They're on the west or eastern seaboard of America, and then we got lucky this year that the Midwestern Series came over to one of our tracks this year. So this first race that I'm going to is the Midwestern Series, and I get a little bit of practice before my actual NEADT series. So that's the series I'm racing for championship in.
Wow. Okay. So as far as this all goes, as far as your like everyday life is, the job and the wife and the kids and all this other stuff like that, how does this all work? I mean, you just take off days when you can, or did you live this every day?
Well, the company that I work for is fully behind my racing, and they even do sponsor me as well.
Nice.
So they're even giving me a half day today, so that way I can leave early and go and make it to the race in time. I'm just about to finish up at work now, and then last night, my daughter, my dad, everyone was helping pitching in, getting the race trailer all loaded up so that way I can just go home and grab the trailer and head to the racetrack. I'm single, so I don't have a wife, so that does help a little bit.
But you do have a daughter, right? You have a daughter.
More to the racing.
You have a daughter named Carly, isn't that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. She just turned 12?
She just turned 12 in April.
Yeah.
That's great. And then, so
she's all about it. I'm trying to get her into it. She was in it for a little bit, but then she got in a little crash and hurt herself. Not too bad, but it was enough to scare her, and I didn't want to keep forcing her and make her do something that is already dangerous as it is. So I didn't want to force her to do something that she wasn't ready for yet. So when she's ready and the time's ready again, I will get her back on another race squad.
Oh, that's a good dad right there, for sure.
That's good.
Thank you. I do try my hardest with her.
I definitely know how that goes. My oldest was a adrenaline junkie and doing his stuff too, and she crashed a quad early on. Probably I should have maybe took a little more to that, but she crashed it with two of her friends on it, so that took a little while to get her back on board of that too. So I know how it goes. They'll get right back on her because now she has a daughter of her own and she rips around her own yard with one. So it's good. So yep, you'll get it in there.
So now tell us about Douglas Racing. Is it you as an individual, or do you have like people that are teammates?
I do have teammates that help me out tremendously. They help me with my builds. We got a big old race shop in actually Ottawa Lake, Michigan. And then it's just me and my stepdad. He's like my mechanic and everything like that.
Oh, that's helpful.
He's the crew chief and I'm the driver. That's how we roll with Douglas Racing, and we just go right out of our garage.
That's cool. That's awesome.
That's really cool. Have you as far as when it was going, you're doing it right out of your garage and stuff like that? I mean, you obviously rode these things as a kid. Is that how you knew you wanted to get into it? You know, I mean, a lot of people do this right away when they're like out of their teens, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'd climb into one and start racing in my mid-30s, but I mean, you know, you didn't get hardcore into it until you said you were 30s, right?
Yes. Well, the story behind that is when I was 30 years old, I was going through divorce at the time, and I was just looking for something, a hobby or something to do. I landed on something to do. I really enjoyed it. So I went out and bought me just a four-wheeler to ride off in the trails, and once I had one, I finally got in touch with all my friends that had four-wheelers, and we'd go out and ride in the trails all day and have fun with it, and we'd say right away, no racing, we're just going to go do the scenic thing.
Yeah,
and
how long did that last?
Later, it would turn into a racing through the woods, and I would just blow them away, and they're like, Josh, you should go race. So then they took me to a track in Michigan that was just one track for a whole series championship, and I ended up winning the championship my first season, or my first race season there. Then I got noticed because of that, and everyone brought me down to these super quads, and ever since I got on the super quad, I haven't been able to get off of it.
So you're a natural. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes, I am a natural.
Like a guy that's not afraid to admit it. Yeah, I'm a natural.
Well, that's good. I mean, a lot of people go through that 30-year-old midlife crisis. Seems like almost everybody we know is like, at 30 after I got divorced. Like,
don't roll me into this.
Yeah. What do you mean? It happened to you too.
It
So
does sound like a midlife crisis.
I know. How do we go through a divorce to a midlife crisis?
I was looking at you.
He said, yeah, that's probably more accurate, right? I'm going through one now. Wonder where that came from.
Anyways.
Well, I still got a lot of miles left on these tires.
There you go. There you go.
At 35, see? I would think you would.
There you go. See, now we can get to, well, I know when we first met you over at the show, it was great to meet you. And, of course, Jess and Zyler and everybody really liked talking with you. And it was really enthusiastic. Do you like the shows that are just mainly for the quads, or do you like it when you have the monster truck shows? They're like a big production.
I'm happy to be around motors just as much as Motor Mania. Anything with a motor excites me.
There we go.
Whether I'm on my four-wheeler or on the monster trucks, I wouldn't put one more than the other. I would say they're both equally the same to me.
There you go. And I know after we talked to you, I know you and Jess were going back and forth and stuff like that. So, and Jess, I don't know, do you want to bring everybody up to date that, we kind of, Motor Mania kind of helped them out a little bit?
Yeah, we did. We partnered with Josh. Motor Mania agreed to sponsor him for his first race, so we hooked him up with his racing helmet and his racing uniform, and he had a couple of dollars to spare to put toward whatever he wanted that was race related. And he was so nice, he let me pick out his uniform. Like, he gave me a choice of 3 outfits, and he's like, I'll take any one of these, and I got to pick which one he's sporting. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it was a fun purchase.
So you pick out clothing for more than one man then?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, she lays out my clothes for me too, but I don't.
You wish someone needs to lay out your clothes, sir.
I was worried she was going to pick pink on me there for a second.
No. Come on now.
Yeah, that's one thing I lucked out. She's not a pink racer.
I'm
girl.
not. I'm a
She's
tomboy. I'm
yeah,
not a
she
girly
is.
girl. So you're safe in that regard.
So as far as you got teammates, how many other teammates are there? Did I miss that one?
Yes, I have one other teammate.
Okay, just one.
It's Brandon Fisher and his dad, Scott
Okay.
Fisher. They're my teammates. They're in my picks every weekend. We pick together every race, and they're the most support that I have through the racing, as in, being there for moral support or anything to do with inside the motor or even just a simple alignment. And even a nice dinner at the racetrack. They are always very open type of people that will give you the shirt off of their back.
That's really cool.
They are very, very helpful. And I try to do what I can in the pits as well, as far as helping out with anything, whether it's carpooling or coming over, even doing some yard work for them.
That's really cool.
So tell us about the race that you're heading to now. Like, can you paint a picture of what the races are like? Is it like a flat track race? Is it like an oval race? Do you guys do obstacles? Like, what kind of race is it?
The race we are going to this weekend is in Owasso, Michigan. It's about 2 hours from Toledo, where I live. And the track tonight is a circle track, oval track. We call that the short track or flat track. And just a quick oval race, probably about 8 laps.
Okay.
The oval is, I think, an eighth of a mile long.
Okay.
And we'll maybe get up to speeds of 50 to 60 miles an hour on it.
Ooh.
And
That's
then
moving.
That is
Saturday
moving.
and Sunday are another 2 different rounds of PT racing, which is just obstacles and maybe a slight jump, maybe come 2 or 3 feet off the ground. I like to keep my four-wheeler on the ground as much as possible in my older ages. Maybe probably
Yeah.
go to the MX and do the high jumps like the dirt bikes.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to ask you as far as accidents go. Obviously there has to be accidents. You've been in a couple of them. You ever had like a really one where you were down for racing that took you out for a while or any of that stuff?
I've had a few scary crashes in my short career already. One, I was on a circle track up in Hamlin, Pennsylvania, I think it was. And I had a tie rod break right before I entered the curve or the turn.
Oh.
And it sent me straight out into the outside retaining wall, and I obviously ran right into it. The last thing I remembered was jumping off my bike and Jesus, take the wheel type.
Yeah.
And I stood right back up and walked away from it. Everybody was in shock and awe because I walked away with just a few bruises and a few scratches and was able to compete the next day.
Nice.
And then
Wow.
there was a local track race, also on a circle track. Just gotten on the outside and into some loose gravel, and it pulled me into a tractor tire barrier, and I hit that head on, and I went flying like Superman, and I came down on the top of my head, which made my head buckle in even more, and it broke my tibia and one of my upper vertebrae.
Oh man.
Oof.
That was the scary one, and it didn't look that bad on camera, but when I
it felt
couldn't
really
feel my
bad.
feet at the end of the night, I was getting worried. So I went into the chiropractor actually, see if it was maybe on a line or something. And he had me go get an X-ray, and that's where he confirmed that I broke the tibia.
Oh, ouchie.
Yeah, that's ouchie, yeah, for sure. Yeah. They got
And
so
that didn't even keep me out either. I guess if you even lift something wrong, you can break your tibia. People break their back all the time doing that, and it's nothing serious, thankfully, and nothing I have to worry about. And he said
Knock
I
on wood.
can continue on racing if I want.
wow.
Now, what kind of prizes do you compete for? Do you get trophies? Is there cash prize money?
I like to compete for the trophies.
Everybody loves a trophy.
I'm all about getting my hardware and being able to bring it home and show my sponsors, of what I was able to accomplish that weekend for much more than a check. This is my passion, this is my love, it's my hobby, and money isn't what's important to me. The money races are harder and more challenging, yes, and you get the big prize money and everything like that. That is nice, and it does help towards racing. But all in all, I just like racing for that trophy.
That's what we love. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we noticed a lot. It seems like people are more excited, and Jess was kind of realizing this at our last races events that we had, that more people are excited to get that little trophy,
trophy.
that trophy than it is a cash prize or a check or do whatever. And it does, because it kind of gives you the trophy is the big thing. Plus, it kind of gives you, I guess, we'll call it the bragging rights. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really definitely cool for it. Yeah. And plus, if you win cash, you really can't have that on display in your showroom. You know, in
Right.
your trophy room for your kids to see. Yeah.
Can't really hold up a fistful of dollars in a picture where a trophy would be like, yeah.
No,
I mean, if they give us that big old, pretty-looking check that the winners at NASCAR hold up when they win, that would be fun to hold up.
yeah, that'd be fun to hold up, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be sending him out some T-shirts so he can sport the Motor Mania swag and is on the winner's circle.
There we go. You know, one thing we didn't even talk about. What is what brand four-wheeler do you even run? And what's all done to it? Tell us about the machine.
2007 Honda TRX 450R.
Okay. Now, is that class got to be all the same CC, like 450 all the way across, or can they bigger or lower? What is the class?
Can you soup it up?
Some classes, I mean, it just depends on the class and the rules of each series.
Okay.
Like the monster truck shows, it's bring what you have.
Okay. That's probably been more
So
expedition.
some guys might have different CCs in their engine and everything like that. But they're in the series racing, everyone's switching to the hybrids, which are fuel injected.
Oh.
And they let them run with us as well. So, I mean, in an open class, I guess it really doesn't matter what CC you're on.
Do you think the hybrids, do you think they have a more advantage over you then?
They have a little bit more pull going down the bigger straightaways than
Okay.
the carburetors, just because they can pick it up a little bit sooner with the fuel injected than
Sure.
the carburetor can.
Okay. Yeah, that would make more sense.
Right.
Yeah, it is. So
Yeah,
now,
other than that, I mean, everyone's pretty equal. It really, honestly, at the end of the day, it comes down to rider skill more than motor power.
yeah. Yeah, so I think it's definitely more skill in that. I mean, it's like NASCAR. It's like anything else. You have to have skill in it. No matter how much money you got in your pocketbook, you still got to have the skill to drive the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does the future look like for you, Josh? What are your goals? Like, do you have like a 5-year plan or anything like that?
My 5-year plan is not to crash anymore. It gets
Step one.
expensive. No, seriously though, my 5-year plan is obviously make Douglas Racing more and Fisher Racing more. We're gonna have more teammates other than just him and I. We want to expand, so we hope to have add 3 or 4 more riders to our team. I definitely like to win a championship in there within the next 5 years. This year, with my first build, I just hope to be able to be competitive and manage a top 5 or top 10 finish in the points race, because I'm going to miss a few races. I've been building my new bike, and building is not as easy as it sounded, and there's a lot of complications and extra parts that you have to wait on, and I just wasn't able to get done in time for the start of the season. So I've missed a couple of races already, so I hope I can still salvage a top 10 finish in the points.
And you said this is the first run of your new bike, right? Your newly built bike?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, good luck to you.
Yeah, and the other question I got, so do you just stay mainly in the Midwest, or you ever go out the coast or down south or any of that stuff?
The farthest south we'll go is North Carolina
Okay.
and Virginia and Maryland. Maryland is my first race for the NEDT.
Okay.
And in the Midwestern, this will probably be my only one.
Okay.
Because the other ones are out in Missouri and North Dakota, and
Okay.
it's a little too far from home for me.
A little too far from home, yeah. Yeah, because I guess, and plus, sponsors cover so much, but obviously if you're going out with the daughter and everything else, and you got hotel rooms and everything else, plus you got to be back to work Monday morning, so it takes a toll on the weekend,
Right.
as we all know.
That's awesome
Yes,
that you
it
have
is.
a supportive boss. That's very helpful.
It is. It's a family-owned company, and like I said, they're all behind my racing, and
That's
it makes
cool.
everything's so much easier.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Thanks
yeah,
to them.
That's a lot nicer in there. So the other question I have for you, so when you got like regular fuels and oils and all other stuff like that, is that covered by all the other sponsors too? Because I know a lot of that's a big thing for the guys for covering all the stuff.
I am a one-man operation. I have a few sponsors that help me with pricing a little bit, but most of it is out of my pocket.
Yeah. What is for those people that are listening and are curious about getting into this, because we see it all the time with all these sports that everybody gets into, and everybody's like, "What does it cost?" So, like, if you have one quad like you have, what is the average you think a year it costs you to? Well, for the price, start with the price of the quad, the machine, and what do you think it takes you to run that circuit for the year?
My gas is $65 for 5 gallons.
Okay.
And I run 110 oxygen. Oils are about the same as your car.
Yep.
I change it after every race, and an oil filter after every other race.
Okay.
My engine coolant was $26. I run engine ice.
Okay.
And I mean, throughout the year, I'll spend about $2,000 to $3,000 for food, gas, and race fees and gate fees.
Okay.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, exactly. And then what about the price of the quad? What's the machine cost you think that you're running?
If you would go on, we have a Facebook page called TT Zone.
Okay.
They sell four-wheelers and every race-ready four-wheelers, and I've seen them anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. The $15,000 ones are those hybrids that have the fuel injected, and you can get them race-ready for about $5,000.
Nice.
Wow, that's not bad. Okay.
Well, if anybody's listening that wants to sponsor Josh Douglas of Douglas Racing, reach out because we can hook you up for sure. Now, do you have like a racing Facebook page or Instagram or anything like that, Josh?
I just have my personal Facebook page. It's open to see to the public, though. I don't leave it private. I don't post anything negative or offensive or anything like that. I just strictly keep it about maybe a few Facebook memes or that were funny, or my racing, or my daughter.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Is there any videos of you out there?
I had an old Facebook, and that got hacked, unfortunately, and I had to create a new one, so I don't have any of my old videos on this one. But I have a bunch of GoPros that I got over the winter for Christmas that I plan on running, so that way I can post videos to this Facebook page.
Okay.
Nice.
That's
Okay,
good.
cool.
Well, Jess and I would love to thank you for being on the show, and of course, we're kind of got a little sponsorship going on, so be safe and don't get out of season 2 early this time. Don't wreck the machine either.
Oh, well, you don't say that. Just be like, good luck to you on your race. Thanks for being part of the Motor Mania team, Josh. Best of luck. We know you're going to do well.
Okay, Mom.
Awesome. It has been a lot of fun already, and I'm excited for this whole season to finally kick off tonight.
Yeah, we'll be watching your page for updates, so let's make it happen.
Yes, if I come across anyone that's doing any kind of live feeds, I'll share it to my page as well.
Perfect.
That'll be great, and we'll share everything we find with you too. So,
well, thanks for joining us today, Josh. Safe travels and good luck.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Josh.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.